In today's Photoshop tutorial, we are going to combine two images, use layer masking and a solid fill adjustment layer to create an image that looks like this. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the bear image. So this is the image that will be the silhouette of our double exposure. So I'll go find my bear. There's my bear. We need to select the bear. Now, there are different ways to select in Photoshop. You can use the quick selection tool, the pen tool, the magnetic lasso, but you know me, I always like to start with select and subject and let that work. It's magic. Then I'm going to look at the layers panel and click on the lock next to the bear layer. And I've got that unlocked. You can see the bear is now selected. Then I'd like to add a layer mask to the bear layer. Now, the way this works is with our bear selected, I'm going to go to the bottom menu bar in the lower right below the layers panel and hover over the layer mask tool. It looks like a square with a circle in the middle. And now we have masked out the background. So we just have a bear. Next thing I'd like you to do is to duplicate this layer. You can right click and choose duplicate layer and click OK, or you could do Control or Command J. The choice is yours. All right, so we've got our bear masked and silhouetted, and you can see that it has a layer mask because that's the black and white mask that's on the same layer as the bear. Our next move is to bring in our second image. So let's go to File, Place Embedded, and I'm using mountains as my example. You can use whatever you would like. We'll click Place, and I will resize the mountains so that they're covering the bear completely. Then, now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to click the check mark on the top menu bar. You can also press the Enter key. It does the same thing. Awesome. So we have our three layers. The mountains are the top layer. Now, this is the tricky part. Stay with me. Look down in the lower right-hand corner. Stare at that layers panel. Notice how when I hover over the mountains, it turns to a little hand, right? I want you to hold down the Alt or Option key, and without clicking, just move the mouse pointer down and check it out. See how it's turning to that downwards arrow? When you see that, I want you to click. Don't click and drag until you see that arrow, then click. What that does is it inserts our image into the mask itself. So now we have successfully masked in the bear. If you want to rearrange your inner image, you can click on the Move tool and you can rearrange, you can resize, whatever makes sense to you to get a good looking composition. Now, once we've done that, what we're going to do next is to click on the check mark. Then we're going to click on the middle layer with the bear. And I'm going to go to Select and choose Subject again. So now you can see that the bear is selected. Now I want to get a blend between these two images. So to do that, I need to use a tool called the Gradient tool. Let's go over to your left-hand toolbar. You'll see that there's a paint bucket. As with a lot of things in Photoshop, there are other cool tools hidden underneath that. So I'm going to click and hold on the paint bucket tool and choose the Gradient tool. Now I'm going to use this gradient to blend the two. But first, I have to click on the layer mask itself on my middle layer. Then I can take this gradient tool and click and drag and release, and I get a blend between the two images. You choose what looks good to you, and I want you to experiment and practice with what looks best. See the difference between doing a really short gradient versus one that starts below the bear and goes above the bear. The choice is yours, my friends. All right, so for our last step, we're going to add in the solid background color. So make sure that you have deselected your bear And you can do that by going to select and choosing deselect, or you can do Control or Command D on the keyboard. And I'm going to go to my layers panel, click on the bottom layer, and then I'm going to choose to add an adjustment layer that is a solid fill. So look at the bottom of the layers panel. There's a black and white circle. Click on that and go up to solid color. Then choose whatever color you would like to have. Click OK. Your last trick, my friends, is to go to that color fill layer, click and drag it to the bottommost layer, and then let go. And now you will have a double exposure with a fade from one image to another on a solid color background. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and have a great day.